Hey everyone, welcome to Infor Learning. I'm excited to have you here for the ninth video in my Infor LN Technical Training series. And if you haven't seen the previous videos yet, I highly recommend you checking out them first as they'll help you for better understanding of the today's session. So before you can do anything in Infor LN, before running a transaction, creating the orders, or even setting up the modules, you first need to create a company. Now you think, alright, it's just typing a company name, right? No, but in LN, not just in Infor LN, you can take any other ERPs like SAP, Odoo, or Microsoft Dynamics 365 or Oracle or any other ERPs. So creating a company is much more than that. It's a blueprint for your entire ERP. It's like shaping how your system will work for years to come. Okay. So in this session, I'll break down for you what is a company really means in InfraLN, why this step is so important of creating a company, and I'll give you the different company structures you can set up. And you can use that based on the business requirements. And I'll give you a real world example so that it will make it clear for you. It's going to make it clear for you. And finally, a step by step demo on how to create a one company in InfraLN. Okay. By the end of this video, you will see why a single step can make or even break your ERP runs, like your ERP's runs for your organizations. Before starting the today's session, I just wanted to request all of you that please do subscribe. Like most of the viewers are like just watching the videos and moving to next video without subscribing. Please do subscribe and share these videos with someone who might get benefit from this. Okay, so let's start the today's session. So what is a company? I'm not taking only from the LN point of view. What is a company? You may heard about a company, or else with other name like company master or any other name. If you take SAP, Oracle, Odoo, or any other ERP, you may have heard about this thing like company. So, what is a company according to you? Please pin in the comment section. Okay, now I'll give you a simple definition on the company. Okay, like in simple words, a company is nothing but it's like a separate container for all the data and transactions of one business entity. So this entity can be a legal company, a branch, or even a business unit inside a large organizations. So inside these company, your LN is going to store your master data like your customers, suppliers, items, units, and many other masters also, and your transactions like your sales orders, purchase orders, production orders, and other flows like according to, like another screen data like according to your flows, your financial records like all your ledger balances and tax details. So all these things are going to store in your company. So think it as creating a mini world inside LN where all you are going to define the rules like data and processing like with a specific and processing to a specific company. So think on that point of view. uh, okay, so next, coming to the next slide. Purpose of a company. See, uh, the core purpose of a company, creating a company, is for like in Infor LN, a company isn't just a name or a placeholder. Like it's like a core building block of your ERP system, where you create a company and you're essentially telling your LN that here is your legal, financial, operational identity under which all the transactions are going to take place. So it's like laying down the foundation of a skyscraper of each module. Every transaction, every integration will be built on top of this transaction. So you are going to tell your LM that under this company, all my modules, transaction, integration, everything is going to happen under this thing. So, and a company in LN defines your legal entity. So that is going to represent the registered businesses or your unit recognized by authorities, your financial framework, which determines how your general ledger, chart of accounts, and reporting structures will function. And this company will show all your operational boundaries also, like it's going to set your scope for your sales, procurement, inventory, manufacturing, and services also. And by creating a company, you are going to ensure that your master data, your transactional data, and your reports, that all are stored or tracked separately from other companies. So that is going to give you a segregation in the database. So that so these are the few purpose of like creating a company. If you see in the Google, there are many purposes of why we require a company. Okay, like why we required creating a company. See, creating of a company is very mandatory. Okay, coming to the next slide. Why company setup is crucial. Like why company setup is very important to you. So first point is like foundation of all transactions. So like uh, every single transaction from sales order to supplier invoice is tied to a company. So if your company setup is wrong, your entire data flow could be compromised. This is the first point. Okay, let me explain you with in detail on this thing. See, let's assume that your company so have some business flow. So your company has some business flow, like that is going to start from sales in sales inquiry. So your customer is coming from a sales inquiry, and then you are going to give him a quotation, and then so if he agrees with that quotation, you are getting a sales order. So by getting a sales order, so you like taking so you first taking a advance payment on that sales order. So you're taking the advance payment on that sales order, and you're going to like do the outbound goods, that is nothing but your GI goods issued, and then you're going to raise a bill or an invoice against this GI, and later you're going to in so see, this is your standard flow that you follows. Okay, Hmm. See, this is your standard flow that you follows. Okay, basically in your company, the sales flow is generally follows the standard O2C process where you like first a sales inquiry is happens, and then you send him a quotation. Against that quotation, if he agrees, you will get a sales order. And after getting a sales order, first you ask from your customer of advance payment against this sales order, and then you deliver the goods. After delivering the goods, you'll receive, like, you are going to generate the bill. And sorry, so you're going to generate this bill, and after like generating the bill, you'll receive the amount in your account receivable. So this is your flow. But the in system, um, but in system, the defined flow is like it starts from it starts from the quotation and sales order, and then outbound goods. That is nothing but the goods issued, and mm, bill or voice against the AR. This is the defined workflow in the system. System is nothing but the ERP. Okay. So first thing, so foundation of all the transaction, like every single transaction follows from sales. Like I'm taking about just talking about the sales part. Okay. So it's tied to your company. So if your company is set up wrongly, or your transaction is set up wrongly, so that could like that means like your entire data flow could be compromised. Like, so that's why creating a company is very important. And so okay, that is a point here. And accuracy, like financial accuracy is nothing but, see, your tax structure, currency settings, and accounting periods all depends upon the company configurations. So one wrong move here can lead to a compliments issues or reporting the errors. Like, see, uh, you generally follows the currency, the base currency. The base currency you generally follows currency you is USD, but defined currency is euros. See, you generally follows the base currency USD, but the defined currency is euros. So this going to affect your financial transactions. Like, okay, so this organizational structure means Infor LN supports multiple companies for multi-entity organizations. Whether you operate locally or globally, this setup decides how these companies interact, sharing data, or working independently. You can do the organizational structure wise by creating the company. And long term impact means like if you like changing a company structure after go live is extremely difficult. Like if you done any mistake, uh, like I'm talking like whether just now like this part like just now I've told you now like let's say before implementation during the UAT phase or during the testing phase or during the implementation phase, this is your standard flow, but some due to the mistakes, your flow is changed or else your currency is changed. Okay, your currency is also changed like somehow, and you didn't see that. And like changing a company structure after go live is extremely difficult, sometimes nearly impossible without a major re-implementation. Like completely you have to do re-implement. This means like the decision you make now, that is going to affect the system for years. So you like you this is another reason why company creating is very important, and linking that everything, linking your transaction masters everything to your company is very important. So creating a company gives you security and control. Like each company has its own user permissions and data segregation, so that is going to ensure the security and compliances within the complex organization. Like I'll give you an example on this thing of like why creating a company gives you like helps you. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Like let's take a company that is like operating globally. Uh, so which company we can take is that is operating globally. Yeah, we can take an example for iPhone. So consider your my company is iPhone. So that operates in USA, and that is operating in Germany also. Also, so for and here go and currency. Okay. Okay, so let's take company iPhone. Here my company is iPhone that I'm defining here. Okay, that is operating in Germany also and USA also. For Germany, I'm defining with 100 as a currency code, like company code, and for US, I'm defining with 100, and for Germany, I'm defining with 200 currency code, like sorry company code, and the currency which I follows for my USA region is USD, and for my Germany I follows the euros, and this USA company is operates from Monday to Friday, and this Germany is going to operate from Monday to Saturday. Okay, then let me make a box to this, and okay, I'll explain you on this thing. So yeah, like see, imagine my iPhone company uh, that is operates like I have told you now. So as US company follows the for 100 company code, it follows the USD currency and follows the American tax rules and operates from Monday to Friday. Like whereas my Germany is, follows the EUR and follows the German tax rule and operates from Monday to Saturday. So each company runs in its own sales, purchasing, inventory, finance modules with different reporting and regulatory setup. But LN allows them to like share the master data like supplier list, customer details, your item master, and many other master details across the companies if required, and process the transaction independently. So German business activities never mix with US ones. So this will consolidate the reports for global level management. So for instance, the German team can process the invoice in euros, follows the EU VAT rule, while the US operates in the USD and local tax rules. So this accurate separation simplifies the simplifies during the audits, comprehenses, and management across the countries. I hope you got a clarity on this thing. So let's go to the different part. Oh, okay. So when you create a company in Infor LN, you are not just naming them. You are deciding how this logistic and finance will be structured and connected. So I'll tell you, here you can see single logistic, single finance, something like that. I'll explain you. A logistic company nothing but it deals all your operational activities like sales, purchase, inventory, and your finance is nothing but it handles all your. First, let me write this thing, okay, so that you will get a clarity over this. Here, your logistic and finance. Okay, I'll write here. So, logistic company is nothing but it is going to operate all your operational activities like. In production part, okay, and your finance company is going to deal with all your accounting and reporting activities like your ledger, tax, and financial statement. So this is what like logistic company and finance company means. Okay, so let's go to this part. Okay, so basically we have four like four company structures. Okay, I'll explain one by one. So you can link these in different ways, like depending upon your business needs. And so first I'll tell you about single logistics, single finance. So single logistics, single finance is nothing but one logistic company where all your operations in one place, and one finance company where your all accounting is going to take place in one place. So this is ideal for small businesses, like small to medium businesses. It can be ideal. So where operating in a single location or very centralized setup. So in that situations it can be used. It has few advantages, like it is very simple to set up and maintain. No intercompany transaction is required between the logistic or finance, and for this lower IT and administrative cost. But the limitations for this is, like, if you grow and needed to separate the logistic by location later, so it's hard to restructure without uh, the big change. Like you need to like once you grow you need to do again the complete re-implementation has to do for this. Okay, I'll give you a small example on this thing. Like assume a local manufacturing company that has own warehouse, that has one production unit and one finance department, so that is managing all the accounts. So everything happens in one. So this is a small example for that. So coming to second part is like single logistic multiple finance. So which means like one logistic company handles all your operations, and multiple finance company is going to the operates for separate accountings. Okay, let's take like this thing, like this you can use, like this business process you can use when you have a centralized logistic, like where in one warehouse all your inventory part is going to, like all your inventory production and storage is happening, and but separate financial reporting is required for different legal entities. So the advantages for this is like it has a centralized inventory, so that avoids you the like duplication of stocks across the companies, and each finance company can follow its own tax rules, so currency reporting requirements, so that reduces the complexity in business. But the limitations for this is also like financial posting mapping between the logistic and finance companies becomes more complex, and it requires careful setup of finance integration parameters. You can take an example for this is like a manufacturing hub in one country that produces all the goods and ships them to like for domestic sales and for international sales. So for this he has two finance companies, like company A is for domestic sales and company B is for finance, international sales. So both shares the inventory but maintain this separate book for ledger tax purposes. Okay, that we can give an example for this. Okay, the third one we have is like multiple logistic and single finance. So which means like you have multiple logistic companies, like different warehouse plants or divisions, but one finance company that is handling all the accounting for all. So when you can use this kind of business functionality is like when you have a multiple locations but under one legal entity. So at that cases you can use this. It has few advantages, like easier consolidated financial reporting. In terms of financial reporting, it becomes easier, and each location can manage the logistic independently, like own warehouse, orders, productions will have their own. But the limitations for this is like it requires more intercompany logistic transactions, like example warehouse to warehouse transfer, and slightly higher operational complexity compared to single logistic single warehouse setup. Okay. uh, this is so for, like this is what multiple logistics single finance. We can take an example for this is like a national distribution company that has logistic company in north and logistic company in south, logistic company in east, logistic company in west. Like it has four logistic companies in four sides of east, west, north, and south. But for all these fours, they like their accounting entries will comes to one central finance department. We can take that as an example for this. Now coming to the last one, the multiple logistic, multiple finance. So which means like you'll have the multiple logistic companies and multiple finance companies, like one for each logistic company will have one finance. So the advantages for this business is like complete segregation of operations and finance will be separate, and it's going to meet the legal, tax, and compliances requirements in different countries, and flexible to run entirely different processes in each entity. Like for my Indian region entity, I can run in different way. For my Dubai based region, I can run in different way. So that thing I can for the that thing this can be possible. But the limitations, coming to the limitations, it might be a most complex structure to implement and maintain, and it requires a strong intercompany setup for transaction between entities. These might be the limitations for this. We can take an example for this as like a global group with USA entity, uh, where it has its own warehouse, own finance. Germany entity has its own warehouse, own finance. India entity has its own warehouse and own finance. So each country separates, like each country operates as a separate company in LN. When it with its own logistic and finance, but can still trade with each other using the intercompany transactions. So this is what all about the company related. Okay. Now I think you now you that like I think now you have understood what is a company means, and what is the purpose of creating a company, and how we can create a company by adopting these four uh, like business processes. Also, like according to the business requirement, we can adopt any each, like any one from this. Okay. So now I'll show you the process, like how we can create a company in Infor LN. I'll open the server and I'll show you after connecting in my server. Okay, just wait. Yeah, now I'm in the server. Okay, I'm now opening my application. I'm connecting to this server. Okay. Okay, to create a company in Infor LN, this is my Infor LN application. The version of this application is 10.7. Okay, and if you want to create a company in Infor LN, first you need to go to the tools part. Okay, all this thing, like can you see this LN? This is my LN. Okay, beside this inside this LN, all these are my application part. And if you see this tools part, this is the tools part. For any customization, we generally uses this tools part. I think I've already told in my previous videos. Okay, now I'll show you the navigation of where you can create a company. After coming to the tools, go to application configuration. Okay, here in application configuration, just go to this companies and package combination folder. So in this in this folder, you can see this session companies. Okay, just click or else enter. So this is my company session is opened here. So this is the one way of navigating to the companies, like company session. Or else we have another way of navigating. You can simply click on files at the top side. You can see a menu bar. Inside that menu, click on files, and in files just click on the run program and enter the company code TTAAD 1100 M000. So this is my company this is my session code. So after entering the session code, I can directly enter in this session. Okay, now I'll show you how you can create a new company. Just click on Control N, or else in the top side you can see here new. Click on this new, and first I'll create two companies here. For my iPhone, I'll first create 100 company, and for this 100, I'll give this as USA region. GI. For my USA region, the first day of work is for Monday, and default currency I'm giving here is like USD. And here I need to select the package combination. I'm selecting the standard package combination. In the upcoming videos, I'll show you how you can create a separate package combination. Okay, here in IS application data, you have to give nothing, just give none. Okay, and now I'm creating another company 200. Okay, and this is my Germany. This is my Germany region, and it's the starting. The first day of the week is also for this. It's Monday, but the currency is going to change. And for Germany, my package combination is also this 10.7. Here I've created two companies, and again I'm creating a 300 company for test purpose. I'll show you this. And for test, I'm giving INR currency, and here I'm selecting the same one. Okay, just click accept. Okay, I'm just saving this record. Okay, now I have successfully created the companies in my Infor LN, and I've defined these companies to my LN that I'm saying here. Take this 100 company is my for USA region, and for this company use I'm defining the base currency as USD. Okay, so after creating the company, you have to do the convert to runtime. Okay, I'm doing the convert to runtime. See, convert to runtime is nothing but just now we have done certain changes in the application. So these changes has to be replicated in the runtime. Like in the runtime, then you need to do the convert to runtime, and then you have to close the application. I'm closing the application, and again I have to open. The data which I have done in the application Now it will show in my runtime. Okay, you can see here I've created 3 companies, but somehow let's say if you want to delete this company, let's say I want to delete this company. So deleting a company, we have to follow a certain rules. Like first, if you want to remove the company, remove this company. Okay, I've removed that company. And if you haven't done the convert to runtime, then this 300 company will load in the application, and in you might face an issue of causing error. Okay, to avoid that thing, just always like remember that if you add certain things, or if you deleted certain things in the application, always do the runtime process. Okay, again I'm closing the application and reopening the application. And sorry, I think did you mm, yeah, see, you can see I've created 2 companies here. Yeah, now let's move to the Q&A session. If you have any questions about what we have covered, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer your questions and provide more insights. And thank you all for joining the today's session on Infor Learning. I hope you found this information useful and insightful. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to our channel for more insightful content on Infor LN and other ERP solutions. And in my upcoming videos, I'm going to tell about all the topics regarding the consultant part, like regarding the implementation, what you have to work regarding the support, and during the migration, what are the key steps you have to take care. So, so on these topics, I'm making videos. So please do subscribe and share these videos with someone who might get benefit from this. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in our next video. Have a great day. Thank you.